gonna give unto me? Hi guys, hi. My name is Bongile CBC. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry about that. I was singing to something I like because I usually get nervous, when I'm about to shoot a video. Yeah, but then welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. Today I'm coming in with like a bombshell. I hope people's ears can tolerate it. But yeah, and I'm only saying this for all my people in the Christian community. I hope though this video is going to be very educative to teenagers who are in that stage right now. Okay, guys, my camera is always skewed, so I don't know why mine. Going wrong, Appa. Okay, I hope this is okay. But then again, okay, as I was saying, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Please do subscribe, like the video, and also comment down below. And if your ears cannot tolerate this video, please just switch it off. Go to the next one and see if you prepare something else underneath here. But then, yes, I am still a child of God. I'm still a Christian who is learning and very inquisitive, and I'm still asking questions. Yeah, and those titles that I put there, I put them because I really want to know things, guys. I really want to understand the world. But today, I'm not coming in with questions, and I'm not coming in with some of the things that I've heard on the outside. Today, I'm telling you a story from my experience as a teenager who was a Christian, who is a Christian, and who was a Christian back then. And my story for today is how I got dumped because I wouldn't give it up. Okay? Now, like I said, sit down, grab a drink, have some coffee or popcorn. Because over here today, say what you like, guys, but I know that someday one teenager who is in a similar situation like me back then will appreciate this. Nah, no, people tell you that it's easy to be a Christian when you're younger. It's very hard. It's very hard. And like, guys, it's very hard. And for me, it was even worse because I was coming from a family that does not practice Christianity. They believe in God, but they don't practice Christianity. So you can imagine how hard already it is. And my mom had just passed away. I think it was 2 years in after my mom passed away. So, okay, I don't know if my glasses are reflecting, but if they're reflecting, you gotta forgive me. Okay, you're gonna forgive me for that. They are reflecting. Now, the reason why I'm saying it was really hard for me to become a Christian back then because I was coming from a family that was not practicing Christianity. Another thing that was harder, it was that I was in my teens without my mom, my biological mom, the person that I trusted. Because my mom taught me that don't hide anything because that's what's going to get you into trouble. And then she wasn't there for my teen years where I needed her to like escort me, like help me through each step, and I'm just gonna say this. Every girl needs their mother. Every girl needs their mother, especially at that stage. Now I'm gonna tell you how I met the guy, ne? And I want to tell you this. He was my first love, my first crush, and he was the sun, the moon, all wrapped in one reason, like Rihanna said. Okay? He sun, the moon, all wrapped in one just big ribbon. Ne? And I tell you what, maybe other people like don't have like handsome exes. My ex, like my first love, I don't know how he looks now. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and call him. Should we just call him X? But then what if we have another story and it's not about him? And then now the next person is X again. Hi. Hulk. Let's call him Hulk. Okay. So this is how I met Hulk. When we were still little, he used to be the one tending into their family business, like the shop. They owned a tuck shop, ne? And in the tuck shop, like he used to be the one tending to the tuck shop. And I used to see him as this ridiculous boy who's got an ego way above his age and his height. Not to mention that he was taller than me and still is taller than me. So at that age, we were still kids. And when we were still kids, I used to go to the shop and buy at the shop. But then now I used to come across this guy. He used to think I'm pompous because I speak English all the time. And now, like when my dad took me from my mom's side of the family, when I got to my father's side of the family, in order for me to learn English, they said you have to speak it every day. And it became a norm, man. It became a norm that no, Bongi, you're going to speak English every day until you understand it, until you are fluent at it, until you do the post to be done, right? So, so I go to the shop every day, and this guy used to hate me, okay? He used to hate me. I think he hated the fact that, like, how can I put it? She's doing something that I can't do in confidence like she can. Because I was very fluent in my English. I'd get there and be like, can I please have some sweets? Or may I please have brown bread? Or may I please have white bread? I used to be like, I tried my best to be respectful, but at the same time, fluent and confident in it. Because that's what I was told at my father's side of the family. Speak it, be confident about it, so that you can be more fluent. And the more I spoke my English, the more I became more fluent. And the more I went back to my mother's family to visit, the more they thought I was pompous, the more other people thought I was just way above. I didn't understand it though, like, because I was told to speak English more often by my father's side of the family. But now when I come back to my mother's side of the family, and it's always Zulu and I'm speaking English all the time, they don't understand that I'm just trying to practice what I was taught to practice. And to them, for some people, it didn't look nice, man. It looked a little mean, it looked a little pompous, it looked a little arrogant, especially for people who did not understand, and I had to explain to them. And I thought that the more I speak English, the more it helps the next person learn. Little did I know that nope, this is not how this works. Okay, so then guy used to tend to his family business, the tuck shop, né? And I used to go there, and he used to be so annoyed when I come to the shop, and I'm like, I don't even know why this person hates me. I would go back sometimes home, and I'm like, and I would go like, that boy in the shop is very mean. He's very mean. And like I remember one time describing, because when I met him, when we were still kids, my mom was still there. She was still alive and all. And I told her about this boy. Like, this boy is mean. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's mean. And my mom was like, oh, because it was it was the son of the friend. Yeah, like the son of the friend or the son of the neighbor that she just thought like she was really down to earth, which she was, guys. You'll get to hear about that in the story, why I say she's so down to earth. So I used to tell my mom, he's so mean. He always shouts at me when I get to the shop. He'd either say, speak louder, khuluma kakhulu, angikuzwa mina. Hayi, cha. Mase kuzoyitshela lapha phambi kwami ukuthi mina ngikusize kanjani. You know, all those things. And I'm like, huh? What kind of meanness is this? Even if I'm trying to be kind. Shame. And back then, it wasn't that he wasn't cute. He wasn't a cute boy. He was very cute. He was short, light in complexion. Oh my gosh, I should not explain too much. But yes, he was short, light in complexion, pretty cute little boy. Huh? But then because, you know, I was still a kid at that time, and I was still like, you know, in that phase of like, I'm just trying to get to know a new language and trying to get situated in a new environment, and everybody should just leave me alone. I'm trying to adapt. Because when my dad's family took me, I could speak, I could walk, I could apologize. I was old enough, man. I was old enough. But then taking me away from my mom into a new environment with new routines and all those things, it was not nice. And on top of that, they didn't just stop by taking me to my father's side of the family. They took it another like level, another whole level into boarding school. I went to boarding school in grade 2, guys. From grade 2. Imagine being in boarding school. And my mom was still alive then. So that's when I used to meet this guy, ne? Like to my eyes nje unenhliziyo embi lo muntu lona. You can't even stand, he couldn't even stand a girl, just like, okay, not a girl, I think he just couldn't stand a girl who came in speaking English, and he was a Zulu boy, and he was there at the shop, and this one is coming here to annoy him when he did not want to sell at the shop at that time. Angazi, I don't know what it was. Okay, years go by. I go back and forth from my mom to boarding school, back to my mom, back to boarding school, to my father's house, to my father's family. You know, that back and forth thing until I was 10. Yes, until I was 10. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm going to need coffee. It's very early in the morning. So I'm busy doing that. And then years go by. And then now I'm 10. And no, I was 11 because my mom died when I was 10. I think I was 11, 12. Yes, around 12. Yeah, I was 11 turning 12. Yes, I remember. So, like, my neighborhood is very small, okay? My neighborhood is so small that, like, you could move to another, like, other section, but we'll still know you moved. We know you from that house, like it's very small. So now my grandmother and my mom's, like they used to move around a lot because like of rent, and stuff like that. So here's what used to happen. Guys. We used to move around a lot. And then at the age of 12, we moved to a house across to the guy's house where this guy stays. So I'm like 11 turning 12. So the next time I see him, he's like a little taller than me. I'm like, okay, he's just a guy. So I see him, okay, I'm like, he's just a guy. I go back to school and Like my mom, yeah, it had been like a year or two after my mom passed away at that time. And then I see him and I go back to school. And I'm like, oh, he stays there. I didn't know he stays there. But I didn't recognize those guys. I like, okay, I'll tell you this later. So when we moved there, I remember after my mom passed away, the girls like next door and down the road started asking me to be their friend because my mom never allowed me to literally leave the house or leave the yard. She did not like that at all. And my dad had to make sure that I have the toys so that I don't go out to other people's houses. And luckily, he could afford that. So, sharp. My mom has passed away. It's 2 years. And this guy, we've moved to a house across the road from where he stays. And I didn't know that it's him and his mom. You know, I just didn't know who it's the family. I just knew who there was a shop, and that shop, we've known it since we were kids, man. We used to be sent to it because it was a trustworthy shop and it was his family. Like the grandfather there did not play, okay? He's still feared to this day. Mm-hmm. Like, I come and go, ne? Because I'm a boarding school kid. And now I'm getting to that age of 12 years old. And at 12, 13 at that time, I'm like, okay, so there are people around me, ne? The people around me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? I'm noticing boys now. I'm at the age where I'm noticing boys. And who was the first guy I noticed? I don't remember who was the first guy. Oh, in boarding school, we had friends, you know. I can't say their names, but then one was tall, light in complexion, very handsome guy, and he was known for his dance squad. Do you remember Bo Mario with their dance moves? You know, do you even remember the songs like "You Should Let Me Love You"? Like, that song, like they even had a dance, and this guy and his friends in our school, they used to do the dance, you know, with his other two psychic friends, and we used to think they're very cute. We had a teacher who always, like, when we watch that music video or when we see guys dancing in a crew, remember the movie Step Up? Whenever we see that movie and that teacher go like, oh my gosh, he's one of our own, and he wasn't even one of our own, guys. He wasn't one of our own. It's just that he saw a guy that looks like the guy from our school. So I'm like, oh, they're cute and stuff like that. Now, in my school, we had something called the movie night, the rugby night, and what else did we have? The Valentine's dance. What else did we have? Yeah. So when we had these things, we would go with dates, and I remember I like took this douchebag on my date, like as my date. I'm like, oh man, I should have chosen someone else because he was such a douchebag. He was really a douchebag. Like, I don't even know why I took that guy as my crush. But I think I used to like my type when I was younger. It was tall, light in complexion. Yeah, because even that guy, Indiana, he was a prefect. And I took him to the dance. Oh, he took me to the dance. He asked me for a Valentine's Day. I'm like, oh, okay. He asked me to a Valentine's Day. I'll go. It's fine. And he's handsome. He had tiny, squinchy eyes, beady eyes. He was very handsome, and he was a prefect in my school. So, you know, it's like dating the officiate. Okay? You know, when you're dating the chef. You know, when you're dating the chef, and you feel like you're one of the important madams, okay? Like you are in the Buckingham Palace and you're like, instead of being the king, instead of being the queen next to the king, you are like the duchess, you know? That's what it felt like in my sophomore years. Is it my sophomore years or what? Middle school. Yeah, around grade 6 or 7 there. So at that time, I I keep on going home and I'm coming back, going home and coming back. So this guy at school ended up cheating on me because he was in grade 7. Ne? And when he was in grade 7, I was in grade 6. And he wanted to go with his age mates, to things that he wanted to go to. Sharp, fair. And then I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. So I went home. When I go home, guys, I go home. We still stay next door to the shopkeeper. Yes, Hulk, the shopkeeper. That's what we'll call him. So Hulk, the shopkeeper. So the shopkeeper, ne, uhlala next door, like uhlala across the road, ne. So when I go to the shop now, you notice him. But then now in the shop, there's somebody who works there officially. So what ends up happening is that he gets to hang out now with his friends. He goes to school more. It's busy, okay? And the first time I see him again, it's when I go to his house. The mother used to sell ice. It's better, guys. I don't know if some of you know it, but it's better. We still eat it till this day, Like, yeah, go to the villages, but it's better. So they like sold it, and I used to go there. And then my brothers, I don't know what they said about a wire that was at our house. Oh no, he saw the wire at our house. And he looked at that wire, like, this is a good wire. And then our uncle at the house said, don't steal my wire. I can see. You want to steal this wire. Now, mind you, guys, not in my family. Like, we've got a bunch of handsome guys. Like, my brothers are very handsome, and girls used to go after them at that time. Okay, fine. So, now, this guy, now, as I meet him after my uncle complains, hurry. My wire just went missing. And just yesterday, I was telling these boys to not steal my wire, to make cars with it, because back in the day, they used to make wire cars. Ne? So, I'm like, okay. And then now, when you keep seeing the guy on the street playing football with your brothers, and now I was the only girl. So my brothers used to go with me in most cases, to some places, because they'd see me just bored at home, and I'm like, and back then there was no phone, there was no Wi-Fi, okay? Excuse me. So, makbora kanjalo ke. Now, I'm like, okay, fine. I go and I buy ice. Ne? Oh, before I buy ice, I walk to the gate, ne? And I've been noticing him. When you've been noticing the guy, and the guy knows that you've been noticing him, and he knows what's on a swag, okay? So he is sitting outside on a tire. Yes, the one that you take up from a car. Yes, that one. He's sitting there at the gate, and now I'm like, oh, shoot. How am I going to get through the gate now? It's very uncomfortable. And I'm like, why would he sit in front of the gate, just in the middle there of the gate? And then I'm like, hey, but then you go habo. What are you gonna say? Huh? What? Ogini? It's his house now. Ah. So okay. I see that, and I'm like, just go. So, and then before I come in the gate, I heard that your uncle says his wire is missing. And I'm like, I wish there was something I could do about that, but there's nothing I can do about it. And at that time, guys, I am dirty, okay? And not the kind of dirty that it's like, hi, Mansana, you didn't bath, you just didn't do your hair. Guys, at that time, I had long hair and I had my pony. But because I used to play with boys and we used to play with sand and we used to play like soccer sometimes. Yes, me and soccer. Imagine. And I'm dirty, okay? And now I've been touching water, and at home the tap was outside, so the water would spill on you, like on the ground there, and the sand. So you'd be very dusty, Jay. Me, I'm dusty. I'm like looking. Now, remember I told you that he was sitting at the gate, and that's why I was like, Lona, Wenzan, what is he doing? Why is he sitting there, like at the gate, as if he is His Majesty that we have to ask to come in? Ah, so now I'm looking at myself with Andisa, dirty, guys. And then I'm like, can I come in? And he's like, oh no, I wasn't stopping you from coming in. So I go in, I buy my ice, I come back. He's still there at the gate. Okay, it's his house, it's his home. What can I do? He's still there though. So I pass and he's like, wait. I'm like, yes. And then I see, so do you think I stole your uncle's wire? I'm like, I don't know. Because in my mind, I was actually calculating, guys. I was actually calculating like, I like you, so I can't say that you stole my uncle's wire. But I do suspect that it is you who stole the wire because you were the one complimenting the wire yesterday. Uh-huh. So I was like, I don't know. And then he's like, okay, I was just asking. And then he's like, have you ever been asked out? I'm like, are you asking me out? And he's like, something like that. You see? You see? Boys start, like men start this game very young, eh? Very young. I was 11 going to 12, or I was 12 going to 13 when he said that. And I said, I'll answer you in a note. No, guys. It's not a cliche. It's not a cliche. Back in the day, like, I don't know why kids today do this, though. I don't even know why they do this today. Hore. They they are just seen holding hands. They are just seen kissing in the streets. We didn't used to do that. So now I couldn't stand longer than I will answer you with a note. Because the moment my mom sees me there, the moment my aunt sees me there, and I've been standing there too long, I'm dead. Dead. Gone. Why was I standing that long with the boy? Huh? So, that's how I answer him via note. Now, as I'm saying, I'll answer him via note. There was a friend of ours who stayed in the same street as all of us, and he was a guy. And I didn't know that he had a crush on me. And guys, it's so sad. It's really sad. Because I asked that guy who had a crush on me to send the note with the answer to my crush here. Yes, the shopkeeper. His heart was so broken, guys. I won't lie. His heart was very broken. But I don't think he knew what he was sending until he got there to the gate and gave this boy, the shopkeeper, the letter, and he opened it and he smiled at the yes. And then underneath the yes, it was me explaining why I can't stand there longer or why I can't come to him. Like, because my parents, bazali, endlini, they were still there. So, fine. I go back and forth to school. Me and Guy are now dating. And I used to do the weirdest things. And Leona, he knew. I think he just knew because it was across the road from us. He would ask me sometimes, like I had a CD player game, and he used to play Westlife, and he would sometimes say, he would send one of our friends and say, "Can you please tell her to repeat the song?" Mind you, this guy is like, I think 3 years. Yeah, I think 3 years older than me. If I was 11 going to 12, he was like 11, 12, 13. He was 13. Yeah, he was 13 if I'm not mistaken. So, it was that thing of like he would hear my songs while they're playing because it's across the road and he'd tell me to repeat the song. Our friends, like the group in the street knew with eyes, they are dating. It's not a secret to us, but it's a secret to the parents. Okay? Secret to the parents. And then what happened? Oh, I remember one time because he was getting really tall. The more like we dated, the taller he looked, man. I don't know why. Maybe it was just it was just my blindness to love. I think so. He used to climb up the roof, fix things on the roof, and I would be like, flash, because like he was the most handsome guy in our street, and he didn't drive a car or anything, but because he was good with his hands, he knew how to do gardening, he knew how to fix the roof. He was just good at his hands. Like even the other boys were told, look at what he does. He's such a good example. He's such a good boy. And he used to cut grass at their church. I'm saying their church because me, I was in a boarding school. I was going to an Anglican church in the boarding school. How? Okay, guy, sijole. We date, guys, for a long time. And while we're dating for a long time, remember, I'm a boarding school kid. So I have like machankura allowance. It's not a lot, but it's still machankura allowance. I used to get 5 rands every Thursday. And when I knew that it was his birthday, I used to save up my 5 rands until they come to at least 30 rands. Now imagine how many Thursdays those are, me depriving myself of tax money. And I used to buy this guy gifts. Okay, so we date until we're like, was it 15? I think we date until we're 15. And as we are 15, so he's like, so the guys so he says like, I can't hide this anymore. I need to tell my mom so that you can be able to come and visit me at home. Because now I don't like sitting in the streets, and now you don't like it. It's very disrespectful to people, like elders. Excuse me, like elders, like they would not like seeing us together. Back then, guys, it was a real taboo being seen with a boy in the street. I don't know why people do it today. Like, you respect your elders, you run away. Now when there's an elder coming your way, you go the other direction, the other one goes the other direction. Like, but today they don't even scared when they see elders, and I'm like, what happened? Huh? So he told his mom about me, ne? And his mom was like, I want to see the girl. And he's like, no, mama, the girl used to be friends with her mom. And the mother's like, friends with the mom. She's like, yeah. He's like, who's that? And he's like, Umam Tuli. That's my mom. And then like, oh, Ingana Tulsile. And then like, yes, that's my girlfriend, her daughter. And then the mother is like, oh, okay, bring her. Now, let me tell you this. The reason why he could do that and get away with it, to introducing me as a girlfriend to his mom, is because his mom was Christian. And his mom was much more informed about raising teenagers. Me, on the other side, how was I going to introduce my boyfriend after my mom passed away 2 years ago? They're going to say I'm starting to rebel. I'm a rebel. And I want to jol around the streets. So I had no leg to stand on, okay? Especially African women. African women, the moment you tell them, now you've got a boyfriend, and Bona, they're not even Christian. At least Christians will give you the mercy to explain yourself. If they're not Christian, you go die. So I didn't tell my aunt, Urmina, I have a boyfriend. So he went and he told his mom, and his mom said, bring her over. Okay. He brings me over, guys. Ne? I was so scared. I was scared. Okay? He brings me over, and you know what the mother firstly says? She's like, you love him? I'm like, yeah, I do love him. With that respectful tone. And she's like, fine. I can let you visit here at my house. Provided that you guys are in plain sight, I see you here. You can come over, you guys can watch TV, you can even have lunch here at my house. Provided plain sight. No doors closed. You know, civil rules, of a mother who's got a teenager who's dating. Civil rules. So, and then after she's like, but do me this one favor. Do not, under any circumstances, sleep with this boy. And she was like, I know he's my son and I love him, but I'm telling you this for a reason. Do not give it up. Older girl. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, no, I'm not shouting at you. It's not wrong to love. But what is wrong is doing things that you don't understand. Like, guys, she gave me a solid preview of what it's like to date in your teen years. And she was like, no matter what he tries to convince you, if he tries to convince you, you tell him, no, I'm not ready for that. Don't feel guilty about it. It's the right thing to do. Okay. Yes, Mama. Mama. Thank you so much. I was feeling like I was accepted. Oh, sorry. I was feeling like I was accepted. Feeling special. Years go by. So now I am in high school and I've moved to a boarding school that is closer to my mother's side of the family. So now what I used to do is to, with my money allowance, now the more you grow, like in high school, your money allowance grows as well, especially if you're in boarding school. So mine would grow. That town day, instead of buying a lot of things for myself, if I know what he birthday high, I used to even add his birthday present there. So I wrapped it nicely, nyana, and then after that, I would send my friend, okay? I would be like, friend, I'll pay you, I'll reward you. Please send this to my boyfriend back home, because they used to commune with bus as day scholars, and I was a jailbird there in the boarding house. Okay. Okay, fine. I didn't mind it. Actually, I love my boarding school life. It's very nice in boarding school. Teaches you independent and also schedule. So, years go by. How? Years go by. We're still dating. But now I'm hearing rumors. Only there's a girl who looks like you. Girl who looks like me? Where? Oh yeah, she always comes over. We thought that it was you, but then now that we remember that, oh no, you wear glasses, so that could not be you. But she looks so much like you. She's short like you. Complexion. She's even smart like you. Okay, come on, they think you're smart if you like speaking fluent English. And I was like, but that's not me, Mas. So I was like, I hope this guy is not cheating on me. Guys, I used to love that boy with everything in me, with all my fiber, okay? I could never even cheat for that guy. They tried me, but I wouldn't cheat on that guy. And back then, your cheating was like a kiss to another boy. That was it. And I was like, I'm not even going to be tempted because I love this boy with all my heart. So, how? Chiki chiki. Sekiabona. Oh, he first gave me a phone. And that phone, I got caught with it. And then I told them at home, nah, somebody else help me with the phone because you guys wouldn't buy me a phone. Another story for another day. So he gave me a phone. How chiki chiki. Oh, I gave him back the phone. I think it was like my second year. I was in grade 9. Phone back because I already had mine. His mom didn't mind like me having that phone because he knew, the background situation. So how jiggy jiggy. Since now we're in high school, guy has like an official girlfriend now in his school. I'm telling you. So when I come back, he tells me that his friends have been kicking it with girls. And I'm saying it like that ngoba izongiphatha nebhizi if I say it mangisho like ngesingisi. So besiqawulana namantombazane and girls are giving it up on them. And he told me that, my friends have started to experiment. And then the mother's words rang in my mind. No matter what the circumstances, he will try and make you feel guilty. Don't give it up, baby girl. So I didn't give it up. Guess what Guy did? Guy went and found a girlfriend who looks like me in every manner. When I even met the girl, I was like, I get it. I get it now. And they dated. And oh girl gave it up. And she got pregnant. So now when she was preggo, she thought she owned Ugai. And Ugai was like, I have a girlfriend who's in boarding school. And the girl's like, Putty, you've got serious problems now. That girl in boarding school is fiction. Libala kengoku. Hey. So, mina mangibuya. Okay. Was it WhatsApp at that time or was it still Mixit? I don't remember. But as I'm chatting, I noticed Raiman. The person who's writing here, it's not a person who is my person. Eh? Huh? Ayithukanga kanje intombazane yomswati. Yay! Ayingithukanga kanje intombazane yomswati. Mangithi ngibuka lesi Swati sakhona. I was like, for the matter of that, I don't even understand what she was saying. Lina, I hit back hard. Ngamuthuka ngesizulu, ngamuthuka. Guys, the curses that I threw on that girl that time. And when I knew that she was like preggo, I was like, Vela Rashashe, he doesn't love you. And actually, when I was mean, I'm the one carrying the child. Shem, poor girl, she thought you were special, eh? When she was carrying that baby. So, guy ends up saying, okay, oh, so Mina, because he first lied and said, no, it wasn't him chatting, it was someone else, and that someone else was a friend of the girl, and that's why the person sweared at me and all those things. I was like, you tell me now, do you love her? Atina, yes. I'm like, ow, okay, we am tanned. Are you sure? You want to break up with me? Ati, yeah, we am tanned. I'm like, huh? But how? I used to send you gifts. I used to send you love notes. Now you're dumping me. You know what was the heartbreaking part? It's that my brother knew about that girl. Huh? It's that my brother knew what my shopkeeper was now kicking it with this girl, the Swati girl. And it broke my heart, guys. I was sad. I didn't understand. Why wouldn't my brother tell me? I just didn't understand. Ne? He dumped me, guys. It's like, okay. And I remember when I stopped fighting with that girl, after he said what he said, I stopped fighting with her. And now I've got senses. I don't know. I was like, I know this child is a boy. I went to ShopRite. I bought the baby a blue bunny. And I said, can we meet? And she said, yeah, but be careful I don't beat you. I'm like, let's see who's carrying the most weight if you want to beat me. So we met. I told her, me, I don't like kids coming into a mean world. So I've broken up with the guy. You can have the guy, but I wanted your child to be welcome in this earth and not have even one shred of hate. And here's a bunny. And she said, how do you know? I said, what? What? And she's like, if it's a boy or a girl. I'm like, I just know that's a boy and that's a fighter. I gave her the blue bunny and I left. Remember, I came back home crying. I cried. I sat there alone in the kitchen and I cried. I don't think their relationship broke my heart. I think what broke my heart is that my brother knew and he didn't tell me. He just watched me become a fool for other people. That was the end of that relationship. And he dumped me. He didn't dump me because I like maybe I did something wrong. He dumped me because I wouldn't sleep with him. And he knew that I wasn't going to sleep with him. That's why he went and found a girl that he could bind because his mother had blocked everything by the name of Jesus. Okay? Now, what do I want to say about this? I want to say there's nothing wrong with being who you are. It's okay to shine in the dark alone. Be the best light in the dark. Shine for yourself. That's what my today's partner says. She says it's fine if you shine in the dark. Be born in the dark and be the light. Oh, by the way, I gave it up after 21. I saw no other reason. I was at a place whereby it was one of those things I just wanted to get out of my way. That's how I can put it. Yeah, out of my way, because I was dealing with so much more things, and it was just one of those things that I didn't want to keep being curious about. Yeah, I gave it up after 21, willingly, not feeling guilty, more informed about it. Nope, I was not pregnant. Still not pregnant. I don't have a baby. But what I'm trying to say is, don't make decisions based on friends, based on anybody. If he says he's gonna dump you, let him dump you. And by the way, after that, I got even a better boyfriend. He was very much more better, very much more gentle and kinder, and excuse me, just like one of those guys who paraded me like a queen. Yeah, after that, I'll tell you that story in another day. Why I dumped that one. Yeah, but that's how I got dumped, because I wouldn't give it up. And the girl who gave it up got pregnant. And I think his mom saved my life. May her soul rest in peace, because she's no more. But yeah, guys, please do subscribe, like the video, and also comment down below. Have you ever been dumped? And for me, this was my first cruel, cruel, cruel heartbreak. It was my first heartbreak. I'd never broken up with someone ever in my life, and I loved that boy with all my fiber. But he dumped me because I wouldn't give it up. Yeah. Guys, go ahead, subscribe, like the video, and also comment down below. Yeah, tell me, what are your thoughts? But when it comes to dating, be in plain sight at all times. Yeah, it's the safest way to do it, because if you do it in the dark, and if you do it in hiding, a lot of things can go wrong. You could get raped. A lot of things, just go wrong. You could even drive yourself to suicide because of a boy, and that boy doesn't matter in 10 years' time. I'm testimony to that. But yeah, that's how his Christian mom saved me. And yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm the last person to judge people when it comes to dating. All I know is the protocol and the precautions that need to be taken when teenagers are dating, because you're not going to stop them at the end of the day. It's going to happen. So, love you. Subscribe, like the video, and comment down below, what do you think of the story? What's your breakup story? I'd like to know, guys.